Vince, let's move on to the final pass aspect of this matchup, but it's not any prettier for Stanford.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, it's not.
They're just there's nothing they're good at on defense. I mean, that's the thing is usually even like Georgia Tech, there were some things that I liked about Georgia Tech. They're okay here and they do a nice job with this, or at least they have some talent there. This is a bad group. I mean, yards per game, points per game, and the thing about it is it's been steady. It's not like they had 2 games where they gave up 60 points and that padded their stats. I mean, it's 24, 28, 23, 35, 24, 28, 34, 20, 52, 35, 41. They've yet to hold a team under 20 points all year, and the team that scored 20 was Washington, who is terrible on offense. And that's Washington's averaging 22.3 points per game. 22.3 points per game. And that was a team that Stanford held to the lowest total, which is 20.
They almost hit their average.
Right. And they are terrible.
Yeah.
So they're just not good on defense. They've been consistently not good.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is this is an opportunity for Notre Dame to really go out and lay the wood on them. And because there's a lot of people saying that Utah is one of the hottest teams in the country, and they are right now.
Sure.
Utah played them 3 weeks ago and put an absolute beat down on them. I mean, that's the thing is Notre Dame is getting an opportunity in these last couple of games to play bad teams, but to then have recent measuring sticks against other teams that the committee perceives to be hot teams.
Right. Absolutely.
Utah obviously is one of them. And so for me, Vince, when I look at this, I say, okay, well, how are you going to, not that Notre Dame doesn't need to be worried about Utah. This is more us as analysts looking at this.
Correct.
Right.
It's data points, right? We're looking at ways to compare teams and things of that nature. Yeah.
Right. So this isn't saying that they need to worry about Utah. It's more of just the reality of the fact that they have that recent game. Plus you have Georgia Tech playing this weekend.
Yep.
And so to me, Utah's jumped all the way from like unranked 2 weeks ago to 19. The committee clearly likes what they're seeing from Utah. And so now you're in a situation where it's like, okay, well, now it's your turn to go do that. And that's what Notre Dame needs to do offensively. And if they can, and here's the thing, we're going to get into keys to the game. So we're going to record a podcast tonight. Actually, Vince and I are going to talk about this, what we may do. We'll have a show. We'll have a predictions. I'm not going to bring it up because then if we don't do it, then they're going to know you're the one
that's fair.
That said we couldn't do it.
Wow.
So I'm looking out for you.
I'm joking, man.
I could just throw you. Fine. Screw it. I'm throwing one of the bus here. No. I'm kidding. So we're going to have our matchups and prediction show. Whether that's tonight or tomorrow, we'll let you know. So that's why you need to be subscribed and hit the notification bell. Just saying.
Bingo.
But we'll get into sort of the final score and all that kind of stuff. But I like the Notre Dame defense in this game. But I'm gonna tell you something right now. If the Notre Dame offense can really come out and jump all over Stanford, it makes it so much easier for the Notre Dame defense
always
to really attack and force mistakes,
because they don't feel like if they make a mistake, it's going to be a huge problem. You know what I mean? Like they have to be able to play fearless, like that. Okay, if we take a chance here and it doesn't pay off, well, the offense still has our back. We still got a huge lead. It doesn't necessarily. And
Stanford doesn't have a lot of playmakers at receiver. They have a lot of big guys that can win the one-on-one back shoulders and stuff. They don't have that guy that you throw a slant to and you're like, uh-oh. So I think that gives you even more reason to be aggressive. Don't let them nickel and dime you because that's what they want to do. They want to run their pro style West Coast offense and
their
run their wide banana. And,
man, those are so
and so to me, it's about that quarterback cannot move. If he can sit in the pocket and start throwing dimes, and he'll do that, right? If Tanner McKee gets time to throw, he's going to throw some dimes, and he's young, his ball placement, he's working all that, but he's got talent. He's got a good arm. He's got a big pro-style body. Don't ever let him get comfortable. The best way to make him uncomfortable is for the offense to put 21 on the board in the first quarter or, first 3 possessions.
Yeah.
Right?
Score
whether that's first quarter or second quarter or whatever. You can't score 21 points if you don't get more than 3 possessions, right?
True.
But the point is just score. Go out and score. Put it in the end zone. That's going to be the key for me because that's the one piece that's still not quite there yet for Notre Dame. We saw it against Virginia, right? Early in the game, they had to settle for the 4th down that they did not get. They went for it on 4th down the second time. They were able to get it. but you don't want to rely on having to convert fourth downs early in games against Georgia and Ohio State, teams like that, right? So there are still parts of this offense that need to improve. And that's where we're going to learn a lot about Tommy Rees's maturity as a coach. And when I mean maturity, I don't mean like a lack of maturity as a person. I just mean like growing into the job.
Yeah.
Is being able to see your team win 55-0 and 28-3 and still say that was great, but we weren't good here. We got to get better there. That's what the great coaches do, is they don't look at 55-0. They say,
right, why
are we still not putting it in the end zone every time we're in the red zone? Because a lot of these numbers have gone up in the last month. The red zone numbers have not really gone up. They haven't. They've been hitting more big plays. That's why Notre Dame is scoring more points. They're hitting more big plays.
True.
And so that's something where Coach Reese is look at and say, hey, look, let's, those are the things we need to still focus on. And that's what the good coaches do, is they don't get wrapped up in here's what our points per game are and here's what are we playing to our potential as a football team? And then the scary thing is the Notre Dame offense still isn't playing to its full potential. It's getting way closer. But there's third down could stand to get a little bit better. It's been getting better. They've been over 50% the last 4 games. That's good. That's real good.
On the season, not good. I mean, it's okay. I mean, you're 49th, but 42-4 is not where
42-4 when you consider that they've been over 50% the last 4 games. I think they're like 26-42.
Yeah.
24-46 the last 2 games is just a shade over 50%. Just for context purposes, a shade over 50% gets you, I believe, into the top 10 in third down offense. Let me just look real quick. Yeah, the number 5 team in the country is 50.8. And Notre Dame, the last 4 games, is 24 for 46, which comes out to 52.2. That would make them the number 4 third down offense in the country. So the last 4 games been great.
Yes,
Keep it going.
Yes.
Right? Red zone offense, you got to get better. So I think those are the things that I'm looking to see from this game, is because it's not about the team in red because they are awful. It's about the team in white and gold and blue. Let me rephrase. The team in white and blue and gold and mustard. That's the team that you need to focus on and say, it's about us. What are we doing? That's what the coaches need to be thinking about. Is I don't care if we beat them 42-7. If you didn't feel like you played to a standard, you don't rip them. I'm not saying that, but you say, hey, fellas, look, it's nice, but they suck. We got to play better. That and to me, that can be used in a way to say, hey, that really motivate you. Hey, you guys think that you're all happy? We scored 55 on Georgia Tech. We scored 52 on Stanford, fellas. We can be better.
Absolutely.
And just continue to raise the bar. And that can create a lot of confidence. And that's what I want to see from this game, Vince.
No doubt.
So any final thoughts on this particular matchup?
No, I think you nailed it. Notre Dame just has to play to their standard, and they have to continue to build off what they did against Georgia Tech, because I haven't been happier after a game like I was after Georgia Tech. And that's what we need to see, because look, Stanford's worse than Georgia Tech, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody asked what would happen if Stanford played Georgia Tech this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
I think Georgia Tech wins. And I'm not so sure it's all that close, to be honest with you, because I think Georgia Tech has a couple of offensive playmakers that Stanford wouldn't have an answer for.
Yeah.
And so that I would say it's a double-digit win for, low double digits, 10, 14-point win by Georgia Tech against Stanford.
Mm-hmm.
That's my opinion. But so yeah, you need to go out and you need to handle your business. You need to play to the Notre Dame standard. If you do that, and you continue to build on what you did offensively and defensively against, Georgia Tech and what we've seen in the last 4 games, and then I'm going to be happy again.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to be real excited about, the next 4 weeks of shows that we do. I'm going to be a pretty positive guy, leading into wherever they're going to end up, in the bowl season. So, but we need to see it. I need to see them build on it.